Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jae-pil Seo. I am here to present my article named Relationship between Corporate Image, Brand Awareness, and Purchase Intention according to Sports Sponsorship. This is brief agenda of the study. I will start by talking about introduction, followed by research purpose and research question, research methodology, research result, conclusion, suggestion. Let's take a look at the introduction. Sports are recognized by companies as an important role in promoting public trust and understanding, as it is easy for everyone to homogenize with voluntary participation regardless of race, class, age, or gender. In fact, the 2014 World Cup in Brazil was watched by a total of 3.2 billion people, and the final alone is the largest sports event that attracted 1 billion people's attention. The enthusiasm for this sports event was powerful enough to attract the attention of companies seeking another marketing tool, and provided marketing opportunities for multinational companies. Consumers of World Cup sponsor companies have shown very high awareness and positive corporate evaluation, indicating that the World Cup is one of the most attractive marketing platforms for companies to use sports as commercial marketing tool, and sports sponsorship has established itself as an important means of communication, since the media exposure effect of sponsor-active companies is high. The corporate image of sponsor-active companies rises, and this effect is becoming important in terms of being directly linked to profit. Domestic professional sports also account for 20 to 30% of their total income, and their dependence on financial resources earned through title sponsored continues to increase. Samsung Electronics participated in the 2000 Sydney Olympics as an official sponsor and analyzed that its brand recognition lost at least 5 to 6%, and said it has strengthened its brand images as a digital leader. The corporate image is an image that consumers have about the characteristics and individuality of a company that the public has, and refers to abstract thought about the company, such as product design, ideas, and trademarks. The positively formed corporate image is effective in building a differentiated image from competitors, become a powerful weapon to gain a market advantage, increases consumer product preference, and entails increases in new consumers and a rise in awareness in the target market. Sponsorship has a decisive influence on consumers' purchasing behavior, and sports are no longer recognized as sports events and high value-added industries with infinite competitiveness, while sports events and sports started themselves become an important marketing tool for companies as media. In implementing sponsorship in this way, companies should carefully select events or sports that can benefit their image. In addition, investment in sports sponsorship should be made in consideration of the characteristics, duration, and media scope of sports event to be sponsored according to the company's product size or degree of awareness. This is because consumers generally feel the relationship between sponsor brands and events when they encounter sponsorship. Therefore, based on these studies, prospective research, it aims to identify the impact of sports events, find out the relationship between corporate image, brand awareness, and purchase intention, and provide academic evidence to apply them to repurchase and inflow of new customers. The purpose of the study was structured as follows. First, analyze the relationship between corporate image, brand awareness, and purchase intention through sports sponsorship. Second, companies' sports sponsorship aims to increase consumers' purchase intention and enhance basic data for companies. Study participation in sports marketing through corporate image and brand awareness. Third, the purpose of this study is to utilize basic data on matters that need to be addressed in order to activate sports sponsorship. The research questions were set up as follows. Theory 1. What is the relationship between sports sponsorship and corporate image? Theory 2. What is the relationship between sports sponsorship and brand awareness? Theory 3. What is the relationship between sports sponsorship and purchase intention? Theory 4. What is the relationship between corporate image and purchase intention? Theory 5. What is the relationship between brand awareness and purchase intention? The study target was set for college students who are attending a university in the Jeonbuk region who are aware of the World Cup as for the gender ratio 149 men participated and 97 women participated. In terms of workout experience, 102 people had the most exercise experience of 6 months or less, followed by 59 people with more than 3 years, 34 people with more than 6 months or less than 1 year, 28 people with more than 1 year or less, and 23 people with less than 2 years or less than 3 years. There were 105 people who recognized the sponsor company and 140 people who did not. According to a survey, 130 people recognized the sponsor company's recognition path through various channels. 60 people recognized it as TV or internet advertisement. 19 people recognized it as an event promotional material, and 8 people recognized it as a mobile pop-up window. The survey tool used in this study used the questionnaire method, and the questionnaire was constructed based on the concepts presented in previous studies. The contents of the survey tool consisted of 4 items such as gender and exercise experience as the characteristics of the drawing. Sports sponsorship consisted of a total of 8 items: communication activities and event activities. The corporate image consisted of 7 items: a professional image and social contribution image. Brand awareness consisted of 4 items as a single factor. Purchasing intention consisted of 3 single factor questions and a total of 26 questions. Data processing is the data collected in this study were analyzed using the SPSS program. Conduct exploratory factor analysis and reliability analysis to check the validity of the measurement tool. Correlation analysis is performed to calculate Pearson's correlation coefficient in order to examine the relationship between each construct. Linear regression analysis and multiple regression analysis were performed to examine the effect of independent variables on dependent variables. The significance level of a statistical measure was less 0.05. Checking the research result. First, multiple regression analysis was performed to examine the relationship between sports sponsorship and corporate image. As a result, it was found that the event activities of sports sponsorship had a significant effect on the professional image of a corporate image and the image of a social contribution. The value of the R-square were 0.105 and 0.126 respectively, and the F values were 14.219 and 17.527. Second, regression analysis was performed to examine the relationship between sports sponsorship and brand awareness. As a result, it was found that the communication activity of sports sponsorship had a significant effect on brand recognition. The R-square value was 0.146 and the F value was 20.698. Third, As a result of regression analysis to find out the relationship between sports sponsorship and purchase intention, it was found that the event activity of sports sponsorship had a significant effect on purchase intention. The value of the R-square was 0.124 and the value of F was 17.203. First, regression analysis was performed to examine the relationship between corporate image and purchase intention. As a result, it was found that the professional image of the corporate image had a significant effect on the purchase intention. The value of the R-square was 0.245 and the F value was 39.488. Fifth, regression analysis was performed to examine the relationship between brand awareness and purchase intention. As a result, it was found that brand awareness had significant effect on purchase intention. The R-square was 0.018 and the F value was 4.487. Look at the conclusion. First, it was found that sports sponsorship partially had a significant effect on corporate image. Second, it was found that sports sponsorship partially had a significant effect on brand awareness. Third, it was found that sports sponsorship partially had a significant effect on purchase intention. Fourth, it was found that corporate image partially had a significant effect on purchase intention. Fifth, it was found that brand awareness had a significant effect on purchase intention. Suggestion for follow-up research. First, since the subjects of this study were mainly students enrolled in universities in Jeonbuk region, it is necessary to diversify the subject in future research. Second, the result of this study cannot be generalized because there was no control for potential variables other than the factor covered in this study. Third, since the research tool of this study was limited to the questionnaire method, it is difficult to analyze the in-depth and psychological changes of the subject. In future research, a subjective and introspective approach using qualitative research such as interviews and observation techniques is likely to be necessary. Finally, these are the references of our study. Thank you for listening to the presentation on the relationship between corporate image, brand awareness, and purchase intention according to sports sponsorship.